Yeah, screw it, it'd be fun. I've already yapped about a handful of Disney Channel web games. I talked about all my history with these sorts of things in that discussion, but here's a quick recap. I played a lot of web games as a kid, they're all very old, a lot of them are just fine, I beat the Owl House Witch's Apprentice, and the State House doesn't care about Norm the Robot. Got it? Good. Today, let's talk about Nickelodeon's web games. Now, Nick and Disney Channel were the two big TV networks that did both live action and animation, more so geared for kids. Cartoon Network was also a huge player, but they were almost entirely animation. They tried live action a bit in the 2010s, but we don't talk about that.
Isn't that right, Todd? Todd? Todd!
Marjorie, what? Ah!
That is the business end of a skunk stinkland, Todd.
Now, it'd be impossible to even mention Nickelodeon without bringing up their golden goose, Bob L'Éponge. Roberts happens to be my favorite Nick show, and just like Phineas and Ferb, he also has 17 more billion games I could discuss, so I'll just keep it to these few. First up, Chum is fun. You drag along a chain of fish and you have them eat chumsticks. It's pretty much just Snake, but you aren't locked to a grid. It's a neat idea and the game is pretty fun, but I feel like not being locked to a grid kinda ruins the game because eventually your tail gets so big that you can't even move anymore. Chum also likes to spawn right on top of or next to your tail, which makes it impossible to grab until it respawns. Like, look at this. What do you even want me to do here? I mean, it's fine. It's still fun. I've certainly played far worse web games. It's not terrible. Now let's try a different one. Motocross 2. Alright, Mr. Krabs, hope you enjoy riding in the Pickle Pounder.
Pickle Pounder? What the fuck is this bullshit?
This is literally just like those different sorts of like 2D racers you'd see all over Flash game sites back in the day. Kinda like Happy Wheels, I guess. Only with this one, the physics are what we call in the business, dog shit. Fuck. Why do you keep bouncing like that? Come on, how bad are you at driving? Alright, what if I just take it slow? Fuck! Alright, second time. Okay, better. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Ass! Good. Good. There you go. Good job, Eugene. Nope, no! Fuck! Oh, alright, we're moving on before I pop the blood vessel. How about iCarly? Pac-Rat, anybody? This is an actual playable version of that Pac-Man clone that Spencer got addicted to in one of the old episodes. And it's Pac-Man. The game does like to bug out a lot. Like, there were a few times I flat out just could not see where I was because the game was just throwing a tantrum, and then I died because of that. Fuck. Fuck. Come on. Yeah, eat that, you stupid game. Alright, next one. And again! Can she make the triple? Almost there. Wait, no, wait, where am I? Fuck! Okay, fine, next game. Spencer's jerk basket. Jerk. He did what in his basket? So basically, you have Spencer lower Carly into a basket to get dogs out. It's a crane game without the gambling, and I thought it was pretty fun. More dogs will show up as you go on, but that's really all there is to this game. Last iCarly one we're talking about, the ultimate iCarly game. It's a side-scrolling platformer where JPEGs of the iCarly cast jump around some random place that looks nothing like Seattle while collecting things they like and avoiding their nemesis. Freddy's nemesis is his mom. That's funny. The level design ranges from like the most basic thing you could possibly imagine to, why did you think having this many waiting platforms next to each other was a good idea? Why did you do this? I'm gonna be real with you, this game is kind of not good. It fails as a game by not providing any sort of challenge or fun, and it fails as an iCarly game because there's almost nothing here that links it back to iCarly outside of fat cakes and Freddy's mom. Like, what are they all doing in this weird blocky place? Who brought them here from Seattle? I need to calm down. This is a 15-year-old web game. It's not that deep. Alright, what about Fairly Odd Parents? You ever think about how lucky Timmy is to just have two fairies living in his house that can literally just give him whatever he wants? Like, he could wish for, I don't know, a button to start nuclear warfare, and he could. He's a 10-year-old. 10-year-olds are really irresponsible. But, yeah, anyway, here's Unfairly Odd Parents. Same idea as Unfair Sonic. There's traps everywhere that you won't know about until you actually set them off. This is probably Cosmo and Wanda's punishment to Timmy for trying to get a nuclear button. Ah, yes, what a great prank. Shooting our god kid in the face. Yeah, sure, it's a funny punishment for Timmy trying to start World War III, but for me playing the game, it just makes me mad. Like, come on. You know what? If I'm playing Timmy, then I get a wish. Cosmo, Wanda, I wish for you to both go swimming near Chernobyl. Oh, and here's a coloring book I found that was fun to play with. Emo Wanda, Scott the Woz, I wish I was Papa Smurf. Blue, like my heart.
Hey y'all!
Remember, Miss Babysitter, you can't let our son go outside. He likes to play with the metal in the yard. And don't let him make any more of those dispensers, okay? You got it. I'll keep him out of trouble and put him on the path of redemption.
Erecting a dispenser.
Can you tell that I'm having an obscene amount of fun with these? Speaking of building machines, Power Ranger Super Samurai. I mean, there is robots in that, so... Power Ranger Samurai was the shit when it was on, and this game is based on its second half, Super Samurai. That's the Fruit Ninja font. It's a beat 'em up. You pick a ranger and you slap these things until they die. I think they're called, like, loogies or something. That might be from Megaforce. I honestly forget, but either way, loogies... You could have named these things anything in the world. Anything at all. They're aliens. And you name them after the mucus you cough up and spit out. I mean, yeah, they look neat, but you had to call them loogies? Whatever. Anyway, here's the characters. I don't remember there being 2 Red Rangers, but it's also been a decade since Samurai ended, so I don't know. We're going with the Gold Ninja because he's the coolest one. There's a scene where he does like a Devil May Cry judgment cut on a bunch of loogies. It's so cool. Samurai was so cool. The game took forever to load this level. I think it just couldn't handle the Barracuda blade. It just wasn't strong enough for it. Had to will itself to. Alright, finally we get in and this barnacle looking dude shows up. Please excuse this embarrassing footage of me learning the controls while a loogie kicks my ass. So, you've got a charge and a jump attack as well as your basic 4-hit ground combo. You can collect these orbs for experience points that'll make you stronger as you go, and you can also call down your Zord and have that blast the piss out of everything on the screen.
That's it. Get me mallet.
Nah, Zord. So, I died a few times and then got knocked into a pit by an archer, so, next level. Let's do this Red Ranger with a big-ass sword. Big sword, big sword, big sword, big sword. Yeah, got him. Oh, sick! Do we get to have a Megazord fight? Oh, that's really lame. Aside from the ending part being really anticlimactic, I enjoyed this one a lot. It's got some jank. It'll always say the Red Ranger is talking when he isn't. That death with the Archer was a little BS, but it wasn't too awful. So far, I'd probably call this our gold standard for Nick games. It's a good time. Now, a lot of the ones I played also come from Nick Jr., since there's a lot of those that I remember too. Anyway, the first Nick Jr. one we've got is Wonder Pets Save the Day. Otherwise known as Saul Goodman helps the Wonder Pets save a baby dolphin. This penguin sounds like the teacher from Jimmy Neutron. The pets told me to give them custom outfits, but then they decided, no, actually, we're not wearing these. Shitheads. Jeez, that is a foul-mouthed baby dolphin, man. No wonder its mother left it for dead in that plastic. You know what, you're gonna talk about my mother that way, I'll be sure to run into all the fish just to make you mad. That wasn't supposed to happen. Well, we're on a good deed streak. Let's keep it up. Jimmy Neutron Backyard Smashball. How is that a good deed? I don't know, maybe aliens like baseball? The objective is to strike them out, and I think the closer you get to the center of this gauge, the more likely it is. Thing is, I think it's busted because I got into the green tons of times and landed only 2 strikes. I literally do not know what else I'm supposed to do. So, this game is dookie. It's a horrible abomination of mankind. If there were a list of the top 15 worst things humanity's ever done, this is easily number 14,767,592. You want to learn Portuguese with me? Yeah, I didn't realize this game I picked to look at was in Portuguese. So, yeah. I don't speak a word of that language, but I think with my French I'm able to get the gist of what it says. Something like, Jimmy shot himself into space and his dumbass forgot to close the door on his rocket. Now he's lost all his fuel and he has to go out to get it in space. Yeah, that sure is Jimmy Neutron. Of course Mr. the Neutron Style figured out how to survive in space without a helmet and just a t-shirt. Did you ever have any doubts? Alright, that's level 1. Next up. Yeah, it just started doing that. Like, none of this was my input, it just did this. In case you're wondering, no, he never touched the corner. I kind of just let the game sit like this for a bit. Just watching him bounce around like the DVD logo was oddly mesmerizing. You know, there's so much bad in the world right now. It's so hard for a lot of people, but we all deserve some time to just relax. Recharge. Just to let our thoughts run wild as we create and live and breathe. The next game is Fanboy and Chum Chum. This has got to be one of the single stupidest fucking shows I have ever watched in my life. These boys live in a tower and wear tighty-whities over superhero costumes. Harry Potter and Emperor Palpatine are in it for some reason. There's fart and snot humor from Miles. There's an episode where these idiots bury a Tamagotchi and it comes back as a zombie, and apparently another one where Fanboy refuses to bathe so he can set a record, and then his suit becomes sentient and threatens to steal from a bake sale? It won a goddamn Emmy for direction? Oh, right, the game. Arcade Raid. Fanboy and Chum Chum want money for slushies, so they go and wow the town with their awesomeness. This is the actual plot. Same idea as Escape from Moltropolis from last time. You wander around collecting coins and collectibles before moving on to the next level. Fanboy says something about chimping not being easy. I don't know what that means. Well, the game was actually pretty fun. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it sucked just because the show it's based on is dumb. Like, it's far from terrible. It's basically just Escape from Moltropolis without the mole men chasing you. Honestly, it's pretty fun. If I had to, I don't know, give it a tier, it's probably like low A. Nothing super bad about it. Controls are fine. Game itself is fine. Just the voices got annoying. Following the trend of somewhat mediocre shows that rely way too heavily on gross equals funny humor, Breadwinners, that show about the ducks in crop tops that deliver people bread in a rocket van. They ask God if he poops too. How do people come up with this shit? Ooh, I wonder which character I am. How do you feel about your alarm clock? So the last alarm clock I had, I was changing the time around when daylight savings ended and accidentally put the alarm on without realizing. When it went off, I thought it was a bomb. I do not have that clock anymore. Who do you... What is a BAP? I mean, I don't really prefer one over the other. Babysitter. What do I do when it's my turn to do the dishes?
I tell you to not write what I'm looking at like 14 years.
Oh hey, I always knew I'd be a frog. How about another one? Big Bread Booty Bash. If it would load. If it would load. If it would load! Alright, it's pretty much just WarioWare if WarioWare had scantily clad ducks and hilariously long loading times. I don't know if that's because of this not being the original site or what, but even so, I ended up getting through like 3 games before just throwing in the towel. The loading times made me want to bake a loaf of bread out of my own hands. I have not trimmed or edited the footage at all since showing the first game. It's actually just this slow. I need a palate cleanser. Oh, that Backyardigans game! Yeah, let's talk about that. Here it is, Super Spy Adventure. Oh, hold on guys, the game is immolizing. The plot of the game is Uniqlo raised an army of evil robots to protect the Krabby Patty secret formula, so Pablo and Austin do a Metal Gear to steal it from her. Unironically, this is probably the nicest looking web game I've covered so far. Genuinely, it looks great for what it is. So, I'll be totally real for a minute. This game is just a hold-up simulator with the occasional spacebar mashing session, but I could not have been happier playing it through. While I unfortunately don't remember the show all that well, playing this was like smelling a flower and being reminded for a fleeting moment of happier times. Only, you know, it wasn't fleeting. I played this for 15 minutes for footage, but still. I've got a really specific memory of playing this and then being called down for cookies my mom had just taken out of the oven. I know I've made some real stupid-ass jokes in this video, but really, isn't it incredible the effects one random game a TV network had on their website can have on people? The memories and feelings it can evoke? Yeah, Nick and Disney do still have their own game sites up, but everything I've talked about today I had to turn to fan preservation efforts to show you. It really bums me out that the companies who own these games don't seem to care about them. I think they're a lot more important than most people think. There's still forms of human expression, and a lot of it, like that level editor, is just lost forever. That really sucks, you know? Well, I've got a couple more games I want to discuss, so I'll probably leave the Backyardigans at that. Time to get educational. I was never much of a Dora fan. I personally preferred Go Diego Go, but regardless, we're talking about Dora and her 3D backpack adventure today. Swiper's being an ass and stole some books, and now we've got to get him back. Alright, so you walk all across this circle, you see places from the show, you get the books, you count them up. That's it. That's Dora's 3D backpack adventure. That was hardly an evening stroll! This game is a single level and 2 minutes long. I thought a major part of Dora was to teach kids some basic Spanish words and phrases, but this game hardly even does that. Granted, it's literally 2 minutes long, but still. Lame game, moving on now. Oh, but you know what didn't let me down? Team Umizoomi and the Stinky Dozen. It was mostly the name. The game was designed for the pattern recognition and reflexes of toddlers. I am 20, this was very easy for me. The objective is to catch all the stink bugs that are making Umi City smell like a gas station litter box. Well, anyway, job's done. We take the bugs in a cop car and we catapult them into the dump where they belong. I think there also used to be a Team Umizoomi, like, music player on the Nick Jr. site. I remember this one song where the pink girl was singing about strawberry milk and how she likes the color of it. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, here it is. 2012 was a long time ago. You know, making these videos about old web games based on shows from when I was a kid it's made me feel really damn old. Wonder how well I can dance with these old, fossilizing 20-year-old bones of mine. Yeah, I think I'm doing better with segues this time. LazyTown, get up and move. I'm gonna be honest, I still enjoy LazyTown a lot even today. It's a genuinely incredible show. The whole sports candy thing was my first exposure to a little thing called psychological conditioning. Here we're taking hard mode, obviously.
Sportacus here. Are you ready to get up and move?
Damn right, JPEG Sporticus, let's do it! Well, I think I have to pick Robbie Rotten here. Dancing is completely out of character for him, and he looks like he either hasn't slept in 76 days or has been crying for the past 5 hours nonstop. Let's do it, villain number 1. I took a dance class last semester, so I think this'll probably go at least somewhat well. Robbie and I practice a bit before we finally put on our full show. Yeah, here's our masterpiece. I'm the greatest dancer ever. Honestly, great idea to have this game mix with the show's goal of getting kids to be up and active and healthy and actually have them stand up and dance along with the characters. This is great. But I think that'll be our last game today. Well, that's that game. You know, it really bums me out that the newer generations aren't going to get to experience these the same way I did. And now, I already went on my spiel about how important these games are to me, so I won't do it again. And hey, if Fanboy and Chum Chum can win an Emmy, then anything is possible. Maybe one day Flash will come back and everything I talked about can return. It's sad that Nick and Disney, and probably Cartoon Network too, don't really give a damn about these games anymore. But I guess it's not the end of the world. We would be perfectly fine right now if Chumma's thumb was shut the fuck up.